and welcome back. It is now 2021. Today's assignment deals with two-voice poem for Naya and Salva of A Long Walk to Water. We are completed with the book. Time for a little bit of last-second review before we move on to our next module. When you're writing a two-voiced poem, you need to think about the characters, things that they did, things that they said, okay, because you're going to include those things in your poem. An easy way to approach this poem, because of the requirements that I'm giving you to have three examples of each column, Naya's voice together, and then Salva's voice, is to think beginning, middle, and end. Beginning, middle, and end. Okay. You might want to wait till you've written your poem to come up with a title. Sometimes that's easier. Now, I'm not going to write an entire poem for you just to copy, and I would really prefer that you don't take what I write word for word, that you put it into your own words or pick a different example. But if you're really struggling for the first one, I will let you borrow my first entries for each. Okay. Now I'm going to write beginning here. You're not going to write that in your poem. And I'm going to move down a little bit, and I'm going to write middle. And then I'm going to write end. Just as a reminder for you that those are the three parts that you're going to be focused in on. Okay, I want you to think about Nye at the beginning, about her voice. Now you can go right to the text. You can go right to the text and come up with something from the text. And sometimes it's easier just to write these poems that way. You know, so we're on page 1. You know, I might just have something like, and if you're going to use quotes, you need to make sure you put quotation marks around them. Heat, time, and thorns. I'm going to put in parentheses page 1. When I go to read this poem out loud, I'm not going to read the 1. Okay, now how about Salva? How about beginning for Salva? What's the best for Salva? How about running as hard as he could? Now, and that's on page 7. And you might be saying to yourself, well, you know, that's not Salva's voice. That's not Salva's voice. It needs to be Salva's voice. Okay. Well, you could do something like this. And if you take away the he and replace it with just part of the quote, now you have, it's more like his voice, what he's doing, running into the bush. How about both? Now, for both, you're not going to find a quote. You're not going to come up with that. And you don't have to use quotes. You can come up with things on your own. You know, like for Naya's voice, you could write something like, you know, every single day I have to walk and get the water. For Salva's voice, it could be, I cannot believe that I have to flee my home. Okay. In the beginning, what are they both feeling? Because if you go with emotions and feelings, you'll have something there. What are they both? Okay. You could do something like, we are scared. So, Nye's voice for this, you'd start off by saying, heat, time, and thorns. We are scared. Running into the bush. Or you can read it like this. You could read Nye's first, then Salva's, then together. Heat, time, and thorns. Running into the bush. we are scared. And what works awesome when you read these is when you have someone read Nye's voice, someone reads Salva's voice, and together they read the middle column. So we can work with that during conference time if we can get some volunteers to read. Okay, so you can go with the quote approach. If you don't like the quote approach, you could go with something like, I am so tired of always having to get water. It is a dangerous journey. Keep the middle one the same. You could write, my village is under attack. I have to flee for my life. So that's just the beginning. Now you're going to fast forward in the book to the middle, and you're going to do the same thing for the middle. You're going to do the same thing for the middle, for Nye, for Salva, and for both together. After you do that, you're going to do the middle for, or you're going to do fast forward to the end of the book for Nye, and then for Salva, and then for them together. So in the end, you're going to have your poem's going to have 3 different parts or entries for each person, and then 3 for them together. And if you look at the rubric, you're going to score points for 3 entries for Naya, 3 entries for Salva, 3 entries for both. And then you're going to get your last points for the title. So don't forget to go up here and add the title. I'm at a loss of words right now. What could I do? For both. Danger everywhere / happy ending. There's my title of the poem. I get credit for that as well. I hope this helps. If you have any further questions, please send me a message. And remember, the easiest way to approach this is to do a beginning, middle, and end for each of Naya and Salva's voice, and then for both together. You can use quotes for Naya's voice and for Salva's voice. It doesn't have to be necessarily things they said, but you can easily make it things that they could say just by using the parts of the quotes that you that are appropriate. And then together, the best thing to do is to come up with some sort of emotion, like we are scared, we are frightened, things are getting better, things are awesome. With that, hopefully this helps. I will be around for questions during conference time, and later on in the day, please send me an email or a message through Canvas. Have a great rest of your day, and good luck writing your poems. Bye-bye.